Alright, how you guys doing? My name is Dan, and today we have update 172 for Payday. This involves another community safe, 6.1 actually, and a new open beta that is currently active. So if you guys are curious about the beta, and you don't know how to open the beta or activate it or do whatever, just right click your Payday, go to properties, under the beta tab, and it should be named open_beta. Let it download and you're good to go. So with this, we have some interesting stuff we need to talk about. First things first, you have the community safe, which has a bunch of skins, and if you guys want to check it out, I do recommend going to the Overkill site for it. I don't want to waste time, really, because I already recorded this once, and it took 14 minutes, mainly because I'm talking about skins and I'm kind of tired at that time. But it's like 20 minutes later, and I'm still tired, but hopefully I can pull through. But the meat of this update mainly has to do with the difficulty and sniper beta that is currently active, as well as some changes that we'll get into when it comes to around the sniper skill beta, because it's actually a skill. So they're improving the difficulty stuff, and what I mean by that is if we head to the difficulty changelog, we can see everything that I'm going to be talking about. We have the AI to be improved to be faster in navigating the level, so their pathing has been increased. The AI performance will no longer be dependent on the host computer's performance, and I believe specifically the CPU. So that's always a plus. So you don't need to run a piece of machine just to have the AI work and do its job. Levels should be less cluttered by enemies, so they're reducing the spawns, which is awesome. The player AI damage can no longer be increased past mayhem, so they should kind of be not OP, but the three above mentioned changes will translate to better performance from the AI, and that regardless of the host's computer power. So there you go. So three out of the four of these changes are mainly for if you don't have the best computer in the world and you're still playing and you're hosting, you should be okay. So for the mayhem changes, the enemies will now take 33% more headshot damage, and the G36 SWATs, or like the Deathwish bots, the Deathwish spawned police, they should do overkill damage instead of Deathwish, because that was a big gripe, and that's why I didn't really do a full transition of mayhem. Granted, you know, it makes me sound like a bitch, and I kind of am, because I don't like dying all the time. Because I like having fun with the game. I like being able to run around and kind of just dick around while still, you know, having that little bit of a challenge. But with mayhem, you know, hopefully we should be okay with that, and I should hopefully be able to transition without being a little bit of a bitch. Even though I still played mayhem Deathwish 1 down, but it just really wasn't recorded, because during that time it's kind of just like, yeah, we're just gonna play and, you know, do whatever, you know, but I don't know. For Deathwish, whenever a bulldozer spawns, there's a chance that it will be a slow-moving minigun wielding bulldozer, so that's fun. And as well, in the 1 down changes, they mention the medic bulldozer. And if you guys are curious and you don't know what those are, if they're a completely new thing, they're not necessarily new. They've been in Crime Spree. So they're moving those bulldozers, not completely from Crime Spree. They're still going to be there as their little modifier, but they're going to be planting them in the core game itself, instead of having this endless Crime Spree only set of enemies. So that's cool. Then we have one additional taser, cloaker, and bulldozer allowed on the level, so that's cool. And for the dev notes for the 1 down changes, our intention with 1 down is to have to have it as difficult it currently is on a live version of the game, without the extra health and 1 down mechanics. So there goes the name 1 down. So the combination of those two elements will drastically reduce the amount of viable builds available for 1 down. So, to be honest, this update kinda is only for how should I say, making the game and making weapons more viable without the need of specific things, I guess. So after we go over the cases of one down, I'll try to give feedback on that and I'll let you guys know. So whenever a bulldozer spawns, there is a chance it will be slow moving wielding bulldozer or minigun wielding bulldozer. That's cool. Whenever a bulldozer spawns, there is a chance that it will be a medic bulldozer, and it counts as a medic and a bulldozer at the same time. So there's that. Then you have the 1 additional taser, 1 additional cloaker, and 2 additional bulldozers on the map. And bulldozers have 100% more health than the Deathwish bulldozer, so theoretically doubling it. Then we have specials will no longer spawn alone and will have a few SWATs accompanying them, which is good because sometimes it was kind of weird. Then we have the number of times a player could go down before custody can no longer be reduced to 1. So they get rid of the 1 down mechanic entirely, where you go down once and you're immediately gray, unless you have 9 lives where it's, I think, 2 downs and you go gray. So I'm expecting a name change soon when it comes to 1 down, because if they keep the 1 down name, it's completely null and void, because you don't have 1 down, you have 3 downs, technically 4 if you have 9 lives, but that's whatever. So the enemy health has been reduced. This is across the board, just an FYI, but for some reason they only throw it in the patch notes, or for 1 down notes. At least I believe it's 1 down. According to Connor Shaw, it is. So I'm gonna go by Buddy Boy's word. Enemy's health is reduced by 33 1/3, or 33.3%. And then developer notes Deathwish units will now have the same health as Deathwish and Mayhem. So I guess that's what he means by that. So they all kind of have the same health, you know, across the board, except I'm assuming well, not even that maybe, because I want to say it might be the same even for specials, where they kind of have like the same pool, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm not 100%. I'm not in the beta at the moment. I need to kind of run some tests and do shit. But the Black Zeal Bulldozer will now use an Easima 12 gauge as a weapon, and the White Zeal will now use the KSP LMG. Cloakers will now drop smoke bombs when they charge and kick down a player. That is a type of modifier for Crime Spree as well. And due to an issue, Cloakers will now use the normal model instead of the Zeal Cloaker model, which that's kind of upsetting because I really like the Zeal look, but that's whatever. So that's that out of the way. Now we have the sniper skill changelogs. There's a lot of shit to cover here, so I'm just gonna kind of tell you guys all about it and let you guys fend for yourselves, kind of. So Joker, the basic, their damage has been reduced by 35%, and the Ace version, their damage does not increase, mainly because of the lower damage, or the lower health pool of enemies on Mayhem Deathwish 1 down. They I guess think that there's no point to having them be kind of as overpowered as they kind of were, so they'll die a lot more often like they should, as well as still being kind of viable to an extent. This is gonna be fun for a lot of people. Specialized killing skill has been removed, and in place of high value target. And why do you think high value target took that place? Because of a new skill, Graze, but we're not going to talk about that yet. So high value target has been moved into the Ghost Tree Silent Killer tier 3 right side, specifically because of ammo efficiency being moved from Mastermind Sharpshooter tier 4 down to the Mastermind Sharpshooter tier 3 on the right side. And the reason why that is the case, we have Graze, the new skill that is being added. And what it does, it primarily talks with snipers. So the new skill has been added, and it is a tier 4. The basic version, snipers that hit their target deal 20% of the damage dealt in a 100-meter radius around the bullet's trajectory. And then the ace version, if the bullet would headshot kill somebody, the gray skill will deal 100% of the weapon's damage in that 100 centimeter radius instead of 20. So, surprisingly, from some footage I've seen and some personal friends recounting it to me, it's actually pretty interesting and pretty fun to try out. So that's definitely going to be in a build that I'm going to make eventually. But that's besides the point. Weapon changes. Because of the removal of specialized killing, they have tweaked almost all of the assault rifles and some machine guns for their damage to be increased by a pretty decent chunk. For an example, first one we have is the Car 4. It goes from 38 to 52, which, to be honest, I believe that is around the damage numbers that Car 4 would have if it had silent skills. So that's cool. The DMR kit has been decreased from 120 to 108, which is fine. But you have other things, like the MP9, 36 to 44, AMCAR, 36 to 42, AMR 16s, the DMR kit has been decreased, but the normal damage has been increased from 80 to 94. The PAR SMG, 38 to 55. You just have a bunch. You have a bunch of them, and it's crazy. As well as some snipers. So the Grom has now, I guess, been changed in its class. So it's one of the lower damaging weapons, I guess, because it goes from 300 damage to 160. Total ammo increase, though, as well as an increased fire rate. The Contractor accuracy decreased. Liebensauger rate of fire increased. Repeater damage. So that is everything. It's kind of scary, to be honest. But hey, let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. But I'm going to leave you guys off with all of that fun jazz. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Like and favorite if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you have not already to not miss any of these videos in the future. My name is Dan, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Have an awesome day, guys.